that take us back and share the challenges ahead.
The emails were provided by Dr. Deb Howry, who served as the CDC's chief medical officer until she quit last August. In one email from last July, Howry was asked to schedule a performance review because management at the Department of Health and Human Services, which oversees CDC, thought she was the CDC's acting director. But someone else was in that role. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said as much in a congressional hearing 2 months earlier.
The acting director was Susan Menares, but she is now up for permanent director, and so she's been replaced by Matt Mazzoli.
The confusion over who was in charge at CDC is one of several episodes documented in over 250 pages of emails showing chaos at the agency after the Trump administration took over. They were recently released by Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont, and ranking member of the Senate Health Committee.
Up next, we got Children of the Moon off of Safety Bear's new
politicization
record.
Of the CDC.
I just went to that show
Kennedy
on Galaxy
had long
Hut,
questioned the
and it was
safety
tight.
and need for some vaccines and objected to a preservative called thimerosal. Last June, when CDC advisors voted to recommend removing thimerosal flu vaccines,
Safety Bear on Signal Drift.
stand up to floodwaters like what came last July 4th.
We watched the water.
It's Signal Drift.
The floors buckle. The furniture
Signal Drift
floated,
practice July 4th,
collapsing,
2026.
The current pushed the two out of the house. They managed to cling to a large bush while they watched their neighborhood rip apart. And now the Weldons are rebuilding with a lot of help.
It doesn't come easy. The local community, there's a lot of love, compassion, kindness, generosity. But the first responders really for our needs at that moment are the churches, private sectors, not the government. No way.
We figured out how to navigate the bureaucracies of disaster recovery, and they received the maximum amount from FEMA, $46,600. But other checks arrived from faith-based groups, foundations, and community.
Nobody's watching, but it's Signal Drift.
Faith to humanity and the love of people.
It's Signal Drift practice, July 4th, 2026.
Story of a flood disaster.
It's 96 degrees out on the porch at Sable Drive HQ.
You would be probably 15, 20 feet on the water right now or something. That telephone pole all the way in the back, the water was 10 foot at that pole. It's hard to fathom.
Ashley Willis lives with her family on a fresh herb farm that is divided by Sandy Creek, southwest of Austin. The spring-fed creek is normally docile, but just after midnight on July 5th, the same storm that flooded the Guadalupe River hit and turned the creek into a raging river.
Up next, we have Haunted House by Winter Sect.
10 feet.
9 people died in the Sandy Creek flood. About 200 homes were damaged. Family and friends who had gathered for a festive 4th of July instead huddled on high ground in the dark and watched by the illumination of lightning, rising water, and wondered if they would survive.
As horrifying as all of that sounds, the easiest part of this whole ordeal was that night.
Ashley's mother, Brandy Kirshner, says they've been struggling to recover ever since.
We got deserted.
It's Signal Drift. I can't see you, but you can see me. At least some of what I'm doing. Can you see this? I love it. This is Winter Sect, Haunted House. It's Signal Drift practice, July 4th, 2026. It's Signal Drift practice.
Science, knowledge, cooperation, and the idea
It's
that
Signal
everybody
Drift
gets together
practice.
to solve a problem and protect
2026. Let's see what's on the air. We're in the Washington, D.C. area. Sable Drive HQ was located just outside our nation's capital.
Thinking about this, I went back to one of the original sources of the idea of the American Dream, James Trezor Adams, and he's credited with coining the phrase the American Dream in his book, The Epic of America. And he talks about the dream of this better, richer, happier life for all of our citizens of every rank. And the line, I think, really shows how thin the line often is between criminal enterprises and law and order, and there's often the line is completely blurred.
Is there one character in the show you think best exemplifies that tension?
Yeah, I mean, I look to Howard Buddy Coleman, who's played by Robert Wilson, and he's the police chief of a district in Baltimore. He's nearing retirement, and he's frustrated with how this rise of the drug trade in his district has basically made it unsafe for everyone else, kids, working class individuals, elders, and it's interfered with his ability to do some real police work. He basically feels like a failure.
The city is worse than when I first came home. What does that say about me?
Take things.
Las opiniones expresadas en este programa ya se presentan.
It's Signal Drift. From Sable Drive HQ, it's Signal Drift. Next up, we got Creeper by Old Night. It's Signal Drift Practice 2026, July 4th. Expect some mess-ups, technical difficulties, and other random things as I find my rhythm of what I'm doing here to bring you things. Bands from the local scenes, other random news from things happening. Here's Old Night. On Signal Drift, it's Old Night.
Silent treatment, toothless vengeance, just us. Add it to your list. Your victim stands, not circumstance, brought this. Fall on your own sword. This is one your heart. It's empty, wasted. Your breath just steals oxygen. Don't close your red eyes. You won't find what you see. You caused your own war. You waged your own war. You lost your own war, and you have never held the high ground by any road
It's Madmen Across the Water by Carrier Wave. Signal Drift, July 4th, 2026. Coming to you from Sable Drive, HQ. Still kind of trying to decide if I want to perform Sable Drive songs here on the Signal Drift show. I feel coincidentally that it's a time in my life where I'm helping host out at the local open mic, and that it's in fact Signal Drift practice. But just to see how it goes, I'm gonna do this song that I'm gonna do Sunday at Galaxy Hut. Old Patrick, he marched to the top of the hill, demanded to be shown around. Picked up his knuckles, perked up our ears, so we knocked him right on down. We kicked him, we punched him, we laughed in his face. We said bad shit about his mother, hung him up, tied him down, sprayed him with mace. Tears and blood mixed on the ground. Tough guys and show-offs all acting the same. When we roll in with our jacket, you're begging, you're pleading, you're crying in shame. Come here, try on the hurt shirt. off the top. You know, boss man ain't messing around. Once, twice, 3 times the charm, but knocking his head on the pavement. Don't worry, ladies, he ain't going far. Let's kick him good while he's down. Wish I had that bell. Tough guys and show-offs all acting the same. When we roll in with our
Lillian Boxfish takes a walk. He teaches grade writing at DePaul University in Chicago.
What's your
Joins us now
face?
from our studios
Come
in
in.
WB.
Try on the hurt shirt. It's signal drift practice. I got a bunch of weird stuff plugged up here. I got my Boss RC505 looper, which I can control some awesome signals. I perform with it as Tidy Demon. I'm riding the volume knob on this GE Super Radio 2 that I got from my father-in-law. Sitting here is my Roland BK5. It's an arranger keyboard, so I could just independently start some stuff, maybe make some Wesley Willis type songs on the fly. And over here, just out of sight, I have my DJ controller, where I have songs from local artists, at least artists who are local to me. We've got artists queued up like Safety Bear and Winter Sect, and got some Electric Grandmother on the playlist here as well. And also, interestingly mixed in, I have some sound effects from back in the day when I was contracted to record some sound effects off of records. So you got some little pops and cracks here. You know, if I mix one in, you can kind of get a feel of what it sounds like. It's signal drift. Coming up next on Signal Drift, it's JGB by the Bassmasters. Not Bassmasters. It's the Bassmasters here on Signal Drift.
Glory be to the bomb, and holy fallout as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
It's Bassmasters on Signal Drift, coming to you from Sable Drive HQ. We're practicing.
exist, as if white culture doesn't exist, as if a population of 14.8%, and that's the total body of black people in America.
When did you hear that, Patrick?
I just heard it on the show. Epstein is the reality of what we're witnessing. You know, Donald Trump is a parallel between these realities. The structure of all of this is designed to divide and destroy.
Okay, Patrick with his thoughts. Aurora,
it's
Houston,
Patrick.
Texas.
It's
Aurora.
Patrick.
Happy Independence Day.
Patrick on Independence Day, and here is the lever. Yeah! Let's try this. Yeah! Yeah! We were together. I'm not a devil. It was so clever. They pulled the lever. They found a treasure. Palace of pleasure. Fun without measure. To last forever. But the setting and the sun came a fall. They were done and before they knew a man and all was done. Ah, yeah. But the setting and the sun came a fall. They were done and before they knew a man and all was done. Ah, yeah.
All right, Aurora.
They were together. I'm not a devil. It was so clever that they pulled the lever. They found a treasure. Palace of pleasure. Fun without measure. To last forever. But the setting and the sun came a fall. They were done and before they knew a man and all was done. Oh yeah. Well, the setting and the sun came a fall. They were done and before they knew a man and all was done. Oh yeah. 250. Oh yeah. It's Signal Drift practice. July 4th, 2026. We're here. I'm coming from Sable Drive HQ. Mixing in sounds on the porch as we're slowly getting hotter like a frog in that pot of boiling water. I am your host, Stan, from Signal Drift, Sable Drive, and Tidy Demon. Tidy Demon's playing a show July 5th at Galaxy Hut. Queued up on our list, we have also some local artists. I have a DJ controller here, I'm mixing stuff in. Ah, here's a friend, let's bring a friend up. How appropriate, City of Angels from Foxye. Foxye's out there now in the City of Angels.
I think I'm losing connection, and I fear I'm losing touch. I just got one thing. I just got one thing left to say. If you're not in a rush, put the past away, love. We can watch the angels fly in the city of angels fly.
Marooned by Electric Grandmother here on Signal Drift. Signal Drift. Signal Drift Practice 2026. July 4th. So you've come here with your hand held out, but tell me, what did you think we would fill it with? Did you really think you're so unique? Did you really think that you would fit in here? We have seen so many people like you. There's 10 more outside who are waiting. You're just yet another candidate who we have no intent of contemplating. Next, please.
Elections and the Democratic Socialists of America, not a party but an organization, and their candidates are winning in certain races across the country. And if you look at their website, they say what they're calling for is the integration of democracy with our economy, run by the working people.
I've never read that.
Do you disagree with that?
Well, I understand socialism is not the way this country should go. And you just said a website, but it just saddens me to know, as you said, these elected officials. It just concerns me that we might be going in a direction that is not good for this country. They have their thoughts, they have their thinking, and that's their prerogative.
Okay, and in Missouri, I'll leave it there. We're watching Sights and Sounds from Philadelphia's Liberty Bell to a parade in Arlington, Texas, and on the right-hand side of your screen, that largest ever flotilla.
We don't care that you came following your dreams. We don't care much for you either. Your skills here mean nothing. You call that a resume? Where's your job experience at? Here at this company, we're looking for more than you can even start to offer us. Your education's poor, and we think you're ugly. Can't you hear them while they're laughing at you? Ha 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 ha! Ah, ha, 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 ha,
spending time reading about the founding fathers and the brilliance of their language in the documents that they produced, and then trying not to project today's values onto what that time was, understanding there was a few flaws, but taking in that beat.
Give it up, don't even try. We've seen your kind here so many times before. Your hands are still shaking, you're sweating profusely. Do I really have to point out the door? How can you tell us that you would be useful? Tell us that you are a real unique find? I'm sorry, but this interview is over. Now thank you for wasting our time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Get back.
Tell us why.
Get back.
Why?
In the line.
I came to America 55 years ago to attend Caltech, and I have never felt better about America than I feel about today.
And why did you come to America? Why did you want to study here? What were your plans?
Well, because I was interested in aeronautical engineering, and Caltech is the best in the world. Can you hear me? Hello?
And Neil, you wanted to come here. Did you plan on staying?
Yes, of course. As soon as I landed here, I knew this was the place where I belonged.
And why is that? Why have you stayed? Why do you belong here?
I belong because going to Caltech, as you can tell, I'm probably a little bit over average, and I knew America was the only
It's Ludrose.
balance in my brain power.
Ludrose. Timing for enemies on Signal Drift. Check it out. Well, we're about at 11:04. Almost a full hour. We'll definitely play Ludrose again, but I think it's time to end Signal Drift practice for now. So I will let us go out on Ludrose. They're playing at Fort Reno. Check them out. monitor what's happening in real time. You can't really monitor what's happening in real time yet. I'm figuring that out. I've got my phone up here. I've got this DJ controller just out of sight. You can mix in some radio signals.
Over 90 years, you know, live. Those were men that served our country. I'm very proud to be the country that, you know, is what's being celebrated today. I also am appreciative, of course, of my mom, who was a teacher, and I have been recently researching.
It's Blood Rose on Signal Drift.
I'm going to go to the North Carolina State Archives.
We're also listening to C-SPAN, the call-in talk shows. Everyone's sure pissed on C-SPAN, call-in talk shows.
In the 1700s here in the state of North Carolina. So, of course, I'm thinking about how my family contributed to the formation, you know, of the colony. But really today, too, I recently saw...
Any feedback's appreciated as we figure out the signal levels here on Signal Drift Practice, July 4th, 2026.
The point that I think one of the points
Signal Drift is out.
was that George Washington, as a young man,